Boys, I have to say, that was extraordinary. That was a sensational 90 minutes of football. Like, Arsenal, well done, hats off, got to give a round of applause to them. Absolutely, like, splendid, spellbinding performance. Defensively, you know, a couple of hairy moments here or there, but mostly defensively, absolutely solid, strong, demanding, you know, physical, making good decisions, you know, thinking, having that awareness, being defensively inept, and then going forward, Jesus Christ, it was absolutely like, oh my God, we were so good going forward, and no matter how poor Everton were, we were absolutely sensational. A 5-1 thumping at the Emirates, back-to-back scoring 5 goals against Everton, and the new era at Arsenal has begun. Hello everybody, welcome back to Analysing Arsenal. These are my thoughts and videos to the game at the Emirates Stadium in the Premier League, which saw Arsenal host Everton. Quite an interesting game. Theo Walcott returning to Arsenal as an Everton player for the first time in a new club after spending over a decade with the Gunners, and we saw a debut for our brand new number 14 sole striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. We saw a home debut for Henrikh Mkhitaryan, the first game that Mesut Ozil played since signing his new contract, and we saw the Welsh Rambo get his first hat-trick of the season. Absolutely tremendous. But before I kind of jump into what I want to talk about between Arsenal and Everton, I want to quickly just give my thoughts and feelings very, very briefly regarding deadline day, because obviously I made a video for well, it wasn't really an Analysing Arsenal video, but I made a video kind of giving my thoughts and feelings to the transfers and about Aubameyang. It was the deal was going to happen, and kind of giving you my thoughts and feelings to the other transfers, and the top 3 transfers that I said to you guys, 2 of the 3 actually happened, 1 didn't, which was the Edin Dzeko move, but a lot of stuff, considering Arsenal, happened on deadline day. Obviously, we signed Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, we got Mesut Ozil tied down to a brand new 3-year contract, and we let Olivier Giroud move from Arsenal to Chelsea. So kind of a couple of things happened on deadline day, and I made a instant video that I uploaded to my Twitter regarding as soon as the news broke through that we actually officially signed and confirmed the signing of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And it was before we got rid of Olivier Giroud, and I kind of touched upon my thoughts and feelings to it. But I had to take that video down because of complication, and also only about, I think, 30 to 35 people saw that before I actually had to take it down. So, you know, to my Analysing Arsenal audience, you don't really know my thoughts and feelings to it, because there was like mixed reception really, because obviously we hadn't strengthened our defence, which is kind of the main cause of concern this season. And I would agree with that. But what I will say is that I think the signings were positive. I think that, you know, us as Arsenal fans have to be optimistic and like look forward to these new signings, because they're just, you know, it's a breath of fresh air, and, you know, it's a stepping stone. It's the start. You know, we're starting to assemble and put the piece of the puzzle together. You know, the problem is, and like this is also why I, you know, obviously I wanted to get another defender in, but I knew it was going to be impossible, and it's, you know, it's really, really hard to obtain a world-class defender in January. You know, this January transfer window was a complete fluke. You know, it was a very, very weird transfer window because you had so many of the big clubs panicking and spending over the odds. And normally what happened in January is that, like, you would be able to get maybe a couple of bargains here or there, but if you wanted to get top quality reinforcements into January, you had to pay over the odds because the market is so inflated in January, and kind of the bulk of transfers normally take place in summer. This one was a exception. We just saw so many insane transfers. But the problem is there wasn't really too many defenders out there. I mean, obviously Laporte, he went to Manchester City. There's not really many like first-class quality centre-backs out there. Obviously Johnny Evans, but like thinking about it, Johnny Evans is with a team who are rock bottom of the Premier League. Like, you know, he's not world-class, and I don't think he actually is good enough to be an Arsenal defender, in my personal in my opinion. So, you know, it's a good start. It's an omen. You know, I believe that in the summer, Arsenal and Arsene Wenger, obviously if he stays, we're pretty sure he's going to stay. You know, he's got an 18-month contract extension. I do feel he will stay, but, you know, obviously if he does, and I think him and the board definitely will try and reinvest like our defence, because our attack can't get any better. We've got one of the best attacks in the Premier League. You know, Mkhitaryan, Ozil, Aubameyang, Lacazette. Now that we lost Alexis Sanchez, which like looks even more positive. You know, today we didn't need him. We didn't miss Alexis Sanchez whatsoever. So, you know, it's a good start, and obviously I believe that, you know, in the summer we are going to, I mean, if we can get a goalkeeper, a centre back and a CDM, we're in business, like, and we're, you know, looking to get back to where we know Arsenal, you know, should really be and deserve to be, you know, on their day when they're playing to 110%. It's not been good enough this season whatsoever, and I don't think we're going to get into the top 4. I think our best bet is to go through the Europa League and do what Manchester United did last season. But if we can win the Europa League and the Carabao Cup, despite all of the problems, all of the negativity, I think that will be quite a decent season for the Gunners, you know. And yes, I still want Arsene Wenger to leave. Yes, I want the board to have a major overhaul, and none of those change, and none of those feelings change. You know, I still want Wenger out. I still want the board to I just want a brand new lease of life at the board. And I think we're probably 3 or 4 players away from, you know, even being in a position where we can get like top 4. Not even, you know, we're a long way off being title challengers. But, you know, it's a step in the right direction. You know, I've criticised Arsenal over the last couple of years. Like, I've heavily criticised them for the way that they just don't make any signings in the transfer window. And finally, we've made some big signings, and, you know, it shows that the board do want to be competitive, because if they didn't want to be competitive, they wouldn't be splashing out 60 million for a brand new striker. You know, it just wouldn't happen if they didn't want to be competitive. So it's a step in the right direction. And I praise Arsenal for when they do stuff right. I criticise them when they do stuff wrong. It doesn't change my thoughts and fears on the club situation. But over the last couple of weeks, I've been so miserable with Arsenal. I've not looked forward to them. And like they've been killing me the last couple of weeks. You know, it's nice to have a bit of excitement, positivity, and see a fantastic result like that. So those are my thoughts and feelings to that matter. And now onto the game. You know, I called it. I thought we were going to have a decent performance, and we absolutely battered Everton. You know, Everton were poor. They lined up in a back three of Mangala, Williams and Michael Keane. And like Sam Allardyce, who was his 500th Premier League game incidentally, I think his thoughts and feelings were to try and match us and counter us, you know, because he could see that Arsenal were defensive, and we literally have just conceded 3 goals at the Emirates Stadium to Swansea. So I think he thought that if he goes for a pacey, you know, front three and a back three, you know, Martinez and Kenny can join the attack and we can cause Arsenal problems. And the exact opposite happened. Now, Everton were all over the shop. They have no clue what they were doing. And I've seen it, you know, you've got to have specialist players, and you've got to really understand how to get the best out of 3-4-3. And Arsenal struggle with it now. We've gone back to a 4-2-3-1. So, you know, I know from first-hand experience, you know, you see how well Chelsea craft the 3-4-3. It takes a certain level of skill to be able to, you know, successfully master that formation. Everton were nowhere near that. They were absolutely just sloppy. They were all over the spot. You know, Ramsey gets the first goal. Mikhi absolutely brilliant assist. He got a hat-trick of assists, while Aaron Ramsey got a hat-trick. You know, Mikhi floats the ball. Ramsey's just there to hit it for 1-0. Corner comes in. Just so much confusion at the back between Mangala and Keane. You know, Williams is all over the place. He's nowhere to be seen. You know, Laurent Koscielny's there to hit up, get the header and get us 2-0 up inside 15 minutes. And then the debut of dreams just before that as well. Aaron Ramsey get himself his second goal. Absolutely fantastic long shot. Gets a little bit of a slight deflection off Mangala and it goes into the back of the net. And then the debut of dreams from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And the goal was offside. I know that first and foremost, looking back, he was well offside. We got a very lucky decision. But like the link-up play between Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang, we saw glimpses there about exactly how devastating and deadly they can be in this Premier League. You know, they were absolutely brilliant. Just, you know, ball that goes like into the side. He was offside, Aubameyang, but the composure and the skill that he has just to be like, he's on the left-hand side and then he just dinks it up and over into the back of the net. Absolutely ridiculous goal. Despite it being offside, it's a dream debut. He scores on his Premier League debut. And then, I mean, it was such a solid and dominant first half performance. Everton were all over the shop. They were absolutely awful. And then, in the second half, Everton they switched things up. They went back to a back 4. I believe it was a back 4. And, you know, what happened there is that they started controlling the game. They started creating decent opportunities. They kept the ball, you know, well. They were causing us problems. And in the second half, it was one of those performances where, you know, you were looking at it and you were thinking, wow, Everton could actually do something here. And like, they were just constantly, I'm just looking at the team, they were constantly causing us problems. Like, there's about 10-15 minutes spell in the second half where Everton created chances. They kept good control of the ball. They got a goal back through Calvert-Lewin, which it was down the right-hand side. And this was the only poor defensive move of the day from Arsenal. There was a couple of sloppy errors here and there. Mustafi giving the ball away, like literally from kick-off, but he managed to salvage and rectify the mistake and the initial mistake that he made in the first place. But in the second half, a ball just gets whipped in over the top from, I think it was Kenny, and Calvert-Lewin is there to hit the header. Petr Cech denied his 200th Premier League clean sheet. That and the wait for that reigns on. He might be able to get it in the North London derby next weekend. I highly doubt it, but what a way to get your 200th Premier League kind of clean sheet by doing it against Tottenham Hotspur. Be absolutely great. So it's all set up for him to do that. And I thought today he was really going to do it. It was just a poor goal to give away. And Everton had a couple of chances. Walcott had a brilliant chance in the first half and second half. He came off, and Balassi had a couple of decent moments. Idrissa Gana Gay, and Everton, at 4-1, they almost made it 4-2 from a chance. And I thought for a second that if they make it 4-2, we could have a real game on our hands. But Arsenal are composed. They go down the right hand side. Mkhitaryan floats the ball into it, and Ramsey slots it in to make it 5-1. And then we kind of just seed out the game, cancelled out Everton, closed down the game, slowed it down, played some nice passage to play, had a couple of decent chances here or there to make it 6. Everton had a couple of chances here or there, but in the end, we roll out as 5-1 winners. Really impressed with Henrik Mkhitaryan. It's great to see him, and I think, because he's playing so far further forward, at Manchester United, he wasn't, I think, allowed to venture and exploit the attack, and I think he was restricted. Jose Mourinho's plans and instructions to him was to restrict him. At Arsenal, he's been given the freedom to move forward, and he just looks a completely different player. A hat-trick of assists on his home debut. Aaron Ramsey was absolutely, superb. The chances, the space, and the kind of the creation to get into those spaces, and the spaces that he got himself into, and the goals that he acquired to complete his hat-trick were absolutely tremendous. And Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang just was. He's so quick, he's so rapid, and I think if Arsene Wenger can get into a rhythm of trying to break teams and press their back line, if we can press the back line and once Aubameyang is in, you ain't catching him. And from the goal, even though it was offside, you weren't going to catch him. He had a really good opportunity where he broke Everton's back line. He was 1-on-1 with Pickford, and he just he could have taken an extra touch, but he just kind of swerved it and kind of hit it to the left-hand side, and it went out. So he had a couple of chances to get a couple of goals. But it's an encouraging sign, and it's a new era at Arsenal. We've lost Alexis Sanchez, Walcott has gone. He had a couple of decent moments here or there, but he just really didn't do much today, and neither did Everton. They're in a bad position at the minute. I would be quite worried if I was an Everton fan. I don't think they're going to get relegated, but they're not in decent form whatsoever. And to concede 10 goals in 2 games against Arsenal, it's just pretty poor. To only score 3, it's not the best. And incidentally, the game that we played against Everton at Goodison Park, resulted in the sacking of Ronald Koeman. Big Sam has definitely improved ever since he's come there, and he's signed some decent players. But I would be worried, and it was just a poor day at the office for Everton. As for Arsenal, completely in control. As I said, a couple of hairy moments in defence, and Mustafi made a couple of mistakes here or there, but there were moments, and lots of moments during the game, where Arsenal looked controlled, composed. They looked intelligent in defence. They were making good challenges. They were making good blocks. Walcott's chance that Mustafi blocked was one of the blocks of the season so far. So, it's looking good. It's encouraging. As I said, it's a brand new start, a brand new era for Arsenal. We've just got consistency is key right now. We've had a great result. We now need to go on a really good winning run. We've kind of had these moments where we put in a fantastic performance, we get a really good result, and then we do something stupid. I mean, if we lose to Spurs this time next weekend, then all of the good work that we've put in today will just be depistated. It will just be over. So we need to keep this winning run going. After what happened at Swansea, there was a response, there was reaction. The signings look really, really good. It's encouraging and it's positive. We just need to keep this consistent run going. And the final thing I'd say from today is that I really want Aubameyang and Lacazette to link up together. Obviously, I don't think Arsene Wenger is going to play both of them. Lacazette didn't even get a look in today. He was on the bench. He wasn't used. And obviously also the other kind of major thing was Petr Cech came off for David Ospina. I think he was injured, so we have to wait and see if he's fit actually for the Tottenham game. I'm pretty sure he was. I think it was only just a minor injury. So hopefully he can be fit and, get back into the starting 11. But Ospina certainly will do a good job. He's a very good goalkeeper. But yeah, the last point I'd say from this is that I really wish that Arsene Wenger play maybe 4-2-2, so play Ramsey and Xhaka, and then play Mkhitaryan and Ozil in the wide positions, then play Aubameyang and Lacazette up front. Try and get into a formation where you can fit both of them. The only problem is that obviously today, people were saying have Alexander Lacazette on the left instead of Iwobi. Iwobi was really good, and he's really good at tracking back and defending, and it was noticeable. He worked so hard for the team. Are you going to get the same thing with Alexander Lacazette? I'm not too sure. And will you get the same kind of, like if Aubameyang plays, you're trying to press the back line of the defence and kind of get in. With Lacazette, his hold-up play is immaculate, and he uses his hold-up play to create space for himself and score goals. He is patient himself. But I think it'd be interesting to see how those two link up together. I think Arsene Wenger certainly should experiment with it. It looks like he favours Aubameyang at the minute. I mean, Lacazette's in poor form, but the problem is that if you neglect Lacazette, he will be gone at the end of the window. And we've got two very, very good strikers. Hopefully it can just be a case where we can kind of try and get to a position where we can use both of them to their best. And like, we've got a very, very strong and solid attack. It's just now we need to get a new goalkeeper, centre-back, CDM, get back into the Champions League, maybe win the Carabao Cup as well. And, you know, despite how bad things are, you know, in football things can change so quickly, and it's nice to see and a good start to the brand new era at Arsenal Football Club. And we wait and look ahead to the North London derby on Saturday lunchtime, which is going to be an absolutely huge game. And if we are going to make up ground on the top four, that is a must-win game. We got the better of Spurs in November, just after the international break. Can we do it again? And hopefully, I'm telling you now, Aubameyang will score a hat-trick at Wembley to crush Spurs' dreams. You've heard it here first. I'm going to leave Analysing Arsenal there for you guys, so I really hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and check out my other content as well. And I also will say that during the game in the second half, I was watching the KSI Joe Weller fight. KSI obviously won. I put out on my Twitter earlier and you guys voted on who you think it was. It was, if I quickly check, and I'll do this right at the end of the video now, if I quickly check the votes that came in, so let me go onto my Twitter, and so we had in the end, let's see, right, so we had 49 votes in the end, and it was a draw. 41% of you said KSI would win, 41% also said Joe Weller would win, and 80% of you voted that I care more about Arsenal. So, you know, in the end, you thought it was going to be a 50-50. I said that I thought JJ was going to win it, and JJ absolutely destroyed Joe Weller. And I've got to give respect and props to both of them. It was a really, really good and entertaining fight. Just KSI absolutely battered Joe Weller, and, you know, worthy winning in the end. You know, respect to both of them. Really, really good fight. And I think it's great for the YouTube community that we can have something as big as that. I mean, 800,000 people watching that stream. So, very, very good, very, very enjoyable. I just want to quickly give my thoughts on that, and I'll put some more stuff on Twitter about it. So if you're interested to hear my thoughts and feelings, not that I don't think you will, regarding the KSI Joe Weller fight, then check out my Twitter as well. It's at DJBagpuss98. But this is DJ Bagpuss signing out, and until next time, take care, and I shall speak to you all later. We will next rejoin for the North London derby next Saturday as Arsenal host, well, as Tottenham host Arsenal at Wembley. And hopefully we can get another 3 points and get back to winning ways. Take care, and I shall see you all soon. Goodbye.